Hi, my name is Regan Ivins, and I'm going to go through my Python project with you right now. So what I want to do is I want to pull data for the NBA, the National Basketball Association. So I tried to find a really good source, and I actually found this API, and it just has lots of different things that you can go through. And what I did then is I went into Python, and at first I needed to pull from the API. So I did all this. Here's the URL, and this is for me getting all the different teams. And there's all that, the host and the key, and then it opens up the JSON file that I create, and then it just dumps that JSON stuff into it, and I don't need this anymore. I got rid of that. But so, and then this is probably where I spent most of my time, is getting all that JSON data and parsing it and putting it into my database. And so I did take from the example Professor Pert gave, but let me just show you the teams. So it separates it into two JSON files, Western Conference teams and Eastern Conference teams. And so here's the Eastern teams and the Western teams. And at first it goes through the API, and what JSON does is it kind of behaves like a tree, and it has lots of branches that lets it able to be stored a lot better. And so it pulls the API, and then it gets a couple filters, but what we really wanted was the teams, and their city, full name, team ID, nickname, and their logo and everything, so that we could pull through that, and we can see that that if we want to insert it into the database, first I needed that connection string, and then when you first run it, you need to create your table in the database to make sure that everything's running correctly and that the table is in there. And then here's my insert query, and there's a little problem where I needed to do the set identity insert, unless it wouldn't work. And then here's all the different columns that it'll insert into, and then it'll open the JSON document, and then it'll load it into this data file, and then it'll make it into a list, and it'll basically take the API and the teams where we saw. So it's basically going through and say, okay, we've got the API, and the thing we want to grab is the teams right there. And then for the rows, it knows that it's going from here, and then all that we need to do is, okay, what do we want to grab? We want to grab the team ID, the full name, city, logo, and all those things, and then it'll insert it. And when that works, you can go over here and select your teams, and then it has all the teams in the NBA. If you go through if you enter in both the Eastern and the Western teams. And it also has some other teams that we've had in the NBA with a couple like specialty, like Team Giannis and Team LeBron, which was from the All-Star game. And then you also do the same for actually, and so I really like this because you can even go further into the JSON file, where in this JSON file, it's better done here, where you get the teams, where you get the conference name. So let's say want it Eastern. Sorry. Sorry about this. You know what? It doesn't really matter that much. So this 3 thing, it just goes deeper into the JSON filters so that we get the conference name, because it wasn't in the immediate team ID, which is shown here, which is league, and then it goes deeper. And so I did the same for the players, and that had a lot of data, and there was a lot of things that I wanted to grab, like their player ID, country, years professional, college name, date of birth. And I did want to grab a couple more stats, but I didn't have enough time. And there's just a lot of stats and a lot of places where you can get it. And I thought that for this project, I would just stick with the teams and the players. And that file worked all well and good. So now in the database, I have the players and the teams. I'll show you the players real fast. It has, 1,000 rows. It has more since it's only selecting the top 100. So let's just get rid of that, just to see how many. Yeah, 1,478 rows. And we can see where they went to college, their height, their weight, and mostly when I did the analytics, I mostly focused like who's the tallest on each team, who's the shortest, and things like that. And so going on to analytics, here's this quick little dashboard that I made. You can select the different teams and just seeing their first name, last name, height, and then their date of birth. So you can see on the Nets who's the oldest, and it looks like Garrett Temple is, and who's the youngest, Desmond Musa. And from the OKC Thunder, it looks like Darius Bazeby was born in 2000, and then the oldest is going to be Mohamed Nazar, and it has the logo right there, which is pretty cool for all the teams. And then if you wanted to know throughout the whole league, you just unselect that. And if you want to see who the youngest player in the league, or it would be Sekou Diombo. And yeah, it's pretty cool, and that is my project. Thank you so much for listening, and please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Thank you.